Hey guys, it's Fallon, your friendly neighborhood librarian, and I am back again with another tag video. I know it's one right after the other, but I am reading several arcs right now, and I hope to have some reviews up for those. They should be good for this month, if not for next month for sure. And then I am in the middle of a reading challenge on my Discord, so I'm like powering through some books. So hopefully I can talk about some things. I'm reading a lot of similar ones, and I'm rereading some books that I read a long time ago that I'm realizing now are kind of garbage. But that happens as you get older. So I am here today with the mid-year freakout tag, and again, on my phone so I can, read the questions. And I'm going to preface this with I've reread a lot of things this year, and I've read a lot of books that haven't made me like super in love, but then I've also read a few books that are just perfection. So I'm excited to talk about them. And I know it's July and it's like way past mid-year, but I'm gonna do it anyway because hey, when I did the newbie book tag, I got like so many more followers than I had before. So hello to new people, and I hope you all have a conversation with me in the comments below. So let's get started. The first one is the best book you've read so far in 2019. And like I said, I've had a few that are just off the wall amazing. This one's hard. So I might actually talk about three. The first one actually, two of them I've talked about on this channel before, but the first one I talked about is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you haven't read this book, please, oh my God, read this book. Stop this video right now. Go buy this book. Go get it from your local library. Whatever you have to do, but read this book because it's amazing. And it is old Hollywood glam and LGBT representation and just historical timeline of LGBT issues, and it's heartbreaking. And you ever read a book that just devastates you, but it's like that hurt so good devastation? Like this is that book. And how it ends, it's not a truly happy ending, and it's a reminder that we have a long way to go with LGBT representation for one in books, but also just for legislation. Like it's a hefty reminder of that. And I'm realizing now that I'm talking about it that my next book is also LGBT representation, and that's Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is the I don't even know how to describe it, and it almost sounds derogatory the way I'm saying this, but it's like a chick lit version of a gay romance, and it's beautiful. Though one of the characters is bi, not gay. I should be clear in that, because bisexual representation, yeah. But it's beautiful. It's well written. It is like the purest fan fiction. It's like my sweet little cinnamon roll of fan fiction-y kind of. If Prince Harry were to it's the first son of the United States is the other person. So it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Just go read the book. It's usually shelved in your romance section at Barnes and Noble. Just an FYI, because I had a hard time finding it because based off the cover, I thought it might be like in the teen section, but it's not. Totally not okay for teens, depending on how you feel about that kind of stuff. There's a lot of sex scenes. They're not super graphic if you're not into that either, because I'm not. And then my third book that I want to go over that nobody ever talks about on BookTube, and it's amazing. If you love Hidden Figures, please go out and get this book. It is The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, and I have it up here on my Goodreads because I have it on my Kindle, so I can't actually like show it. I'm going to try to insert pictures right here. Trying out a new movie maker thing. That's kind of one of my goals for the rest of the year. And it is if a nuclear weapon, or not nuclear weapon, an asteroid hit the Earth, and women actually had a bigger role in NASA than like you think, kind of. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of an alternate history, but not really, because they keep the 50s aesthetic and the 60s aesthetic of what NASA was like and how women were treated. And even though an asteroid has hit the Earth, destroyed major metropolitan areas, women are still kind of like second-class citizens. But it's so good. If you like Hidden Figures, if you like The Martian, like the hard science kind of stuff, please pick up this series. It's the Lady Astronaut series. Again, it's Mary Robinette Kowal, and it is so good. And I devoured the 2 books in 2 days, and that it's going to come up with some other questions on here. I'm just going to tell you that now. Okay, so that's the 3 best books I've read this year. 5 stars all the way around on all 3. They all 3 had different aspects of hitting me hard, and they were beautiful. The next one is the best sequel you've read so far in 2019, and that is, I believe it's called Lady Astronaut. Let me double check. Sorry, no, it is called The Faded Sky. The Faded Sky by Mary Robinette Kowal. It is the sequel to The Calculating Stars. In this one, Elma, who is the main character, is on the mission to go to Mars. So we go from pretty accurate 1950s, 60s NASA trying to get a man to the moon, trying to launch space, to we're landing on Mars, and it's like the 60s, and it's got the hard science of The Martian, and again, the series is bananas good, and I really, really, really want this author to get more like press and publication, and it's awesome. If you like sci-fi, again, if you like sci-fi, hard sci-fi, this is a good series. Or even if you just want to try hard sci-fi, this is a really good series to kind of edge in. Because I kind of felt like sometimes The Martian went too hard. Like, it was great for those geeks that really like that, or those nerds who kind of just nerd out about that. But if you're not into the science and math of space travel, then it was kind of hard to get into for what kind of book it was, I guess. I don't know. That's a whole other video to talk about. Okay, so number 3. You'll have to excuse me. It is high pollen season here in Arkansas, and my sinuses are nuts right now. But number 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. So there is a lot that would qualify for this. I do kind of keep a running bookmark on this set of listicles I found on Goodreads that are like books that are coming out January of 2019, books that are coming out February 2019. And I kind of ran through them all, and a lot of them I have arcs for and I just haven't read them, so I don't really want to talk about those. Oh, I know, Dark of the West by Joanna Hathaway. So there's a YouTuber that I follow, Dylan, and I can't, again, every time I go to make these videos, I can never remember YouTubers' names. I'll put it right here. But Dylan, his friend wrote this book, Joanna Hathaway. It's called Dark of the West. And the way he described it and all the Goodreads summaries I've seen of it, it sounds like it's right up my alley. So I think I'm excited to read that one the most. I just don't have the money right now to buy it. So, but a book that I do have that I just haven't read yet is There's Something About Sweetie. I love that author. I do have it right here. So, I keep all my books right here, so it's kind of crazy. But There's Something About Sweetie. I love her. Zendaya Minon. Is that how you say her name? I don't know if that's how you say her name. But I love her stuff. And let's see. It's When Dimple Met Rishi and From Twinkle with Love. And all of her book titles are, and I feel so dumb, but I just saw this the other day that all of her books are based off of 90s rom-com movies. Because There's Something About Sweetie, which would be There's Something About Mary. When Dimple Met Rishi is When Harry Met Sally. From Twinkle with Love is... I'm drawing a blank on that one, but I know that there's a movie with that title in it, so I'm excited about that one. One I will mention, and this will probably be another question, like, which one are you looking forward to? Just based off the synopsis of this arc, this is one that I'm getting ready to read because I believe, it's September 2019, so I do want to try to get ahead on these arcs and, like, have reviews go up when books get published, because I want to be that type of booktuber and librarian. But I try to read as much Asian representation as I can get, especially in YA. Like, there's the Jenny Han books, but a lot of the times it's like white girls with red hair, or white blonde girls, or white brunette girls that are just like clumsy and like fall over. And Yeah. Like on my rereads, I'm noticing a lot of that similarity, and I've matured a little bit in my reading. Representation is super important to me. So, yeah, I'm over that. I'm ready to read some like different stories because there are different types of people out there. And, you know, when I was a teen, I would have killed for some of those books to be out there representing me. Again, tangent. You're used to me by now. Fallon is a tangent queen. So number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Frankly, in love, definitely. But I am super excited for the Arc of the Scythe trilogy to come. I think it's a trilogy. I'm pretty confident it's a trilogy. I'm super excited for the third one of those to come out. The Toll, because those books have been like an underground popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, people remember that they're there, but I definitely, for sure, think that more people need to pay attention to that series because it's well written. It's an interesting dystopia. It's not like a zombie apocalypse. It's not like where everybody is, you know, mean and pitting kids against each other. This is just how society runs. We don't die anymore, so we had to have a community of people that kill people and, you know, have death happen. Otherwise, your population outgrows itself. And it's like an interesting concept. It's different. I like it. And I just now this year read Renegades. I have Arch Enemies, I believe. And the third one of those comes out, and I can't remember off the top of my head what that one is. I'm really super excited to get all the way caught up and finish the series because I loved it. I love a good superhero book too. If you haven't noticed with my Dreadnought recommendation before, again, Dreadnought, go read it. It's awesome. Its own voices. So, number 5, biggest disappointment. So many books. So much disappointment. I'm going to talk about it since I just recently, as in literally last night, finished rereading Anna and the French Kiss. I loved this book when I first read it. No idea what Past Fallon was thinking because it is a garbage fire. There are some really good aspects of it, and I do actually like Stephanie Perkins' other 2 books in that series, Lola and the Boy Next Door and Isla and the Happily Ever After. I love those. But Anna is a goddamn moron. Just gonna put that out there. Like, how you gonna be, unhappy that you're 17, 18. You're unhappy that your dad is sending you to Paris for a year to live on your own. I mean, granted, you are in a boarding school, but you're gonna be in Paris. Like, why would you be unhappy about that? And also, she took 3 years of Spanish and never freaking realized that there's a lot of commonalities between the 2 languages, because there are, I promise, because I've picked up some Spanish based off my knowledge of French. And also, it's not like her dad was sending her like the next day. How are you going to be sent to France and not try to pick up like some basic phrases? Because again, she took 3 years of Spanish. She had capabilities entirely to learn French, at least basic, like, hello, I am lost, please help, or do you speak English? That's all she had to. Do you speak English would have solved her stupid cafeteria problem. Just learn, do you speak English? Ask the chef, which, by the way, he would have spoke English anyway because you're an idiot. You're at an American boarding school. They're going to speak English because Americans are stupid. We don't learn languages very well. But yeah, I don't know why that hot mess was one of my favorites. Maybe it's because the other 2 were so good that I was kind of like, okay, this one goes along with it. But no, I downgraded my rating on that. And that was my biggest disappointment so far. And I know that was literally just yesterday for me, but I'm so angry still, and I don't know that I want to keep my copy anymore, other than I just have all 3, and they're so pretty, because aesthetics? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Please tell me you agree with me that it's a hot mess of a book, but the other 2 are pretty good. I don't want to reread them and get disappointed. Please don't let me be disappointed. Number 6, biggest surprise. Have I had a book that surprised me? Red, White, and Royal Blue definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, and I wasn't really expecting to love it as much as I did, to the point that I want to buy some merch with fan art that I have found. I'm not going to spoil on what it is on it, but there's a scene of a painting of a mural, and I found some fan art that's beautiful, and I want it, but I don't think anybody would get it, because I've been pushing this book on everybody and nobody will read it with me. That's the biggest. But see, I can't even really call that a surprise because I do like chick lit and I knew that that was going to be a surprise. Yeah, I don't. Probably Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really went into that based off of a recommendation from Peter Likes Books. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Peter really liked it, and Peter and I have similar tastes, so I'll give it a shot. I'll probably like it but I loved that book. I loved it. It was everything I didn't know that I needed. So, yeah, that was probably my biggest surprise. I wasn't really expecting to love it as much as I did, so yeah. Number 7, favorite new author, debut or new to you? Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know this whole tag is just going to be about Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in red, white, and royal blue. It's not, I promise. But Taylor Jenkins Reid, I've since devoured almost all of her collection. The only ones that I have left is Daisy Jones and the Six, which I have a copy over here, that I got from Book of the Month. Book of the Month, guys. Maybe I should start linking that below. I don't get anything really other than the normal stuff out of it if you decide to subscribe, but they let you skip months now, and it's so much better now that you can skip months because you can also add on to and you get a little birthday surprise. So try it out, because I really like Book of the Month. They've been having a lot of great work and stuff that like I'll hear from booktubers, and then like literally the next day when like the first of the month comes out, I'll see the book on there and I'll know to go get it. And yeah, it's awesome. Book of the Month, you should really like have booktubers, because we would be awesome at it. We could just promote the heck out of like one of the options of the books and you're going to get people ordering it. Not that Book of the Month is paying attention to somebody with 8 followers, but hey, if you are, hit your girl up, because I've been a subscriber for a very long time and I would love to be a supporter. Number 9, newest favorite character. Newest favorite character, not from Seven Husbands and not from Red, White, and Royal Blue. Will probably be Ilma York from the Calculating Stars, though. She's so awesome. She is this very intelligent woman, but like she's not one note. She has deep, deep anxiety issues as a person who suffers from that. It was so nice to see that in paper, like realistically portrayed. Not just like, oh God, I'm gonna sweat and do that, but like to be ashamed about taking pills, or to have to, try and figure out how to help yourself, and especially in the 1950s. And her husband was so supportive of her throughout both of these. These books are so well written, guys. Please go read them. I will beg you. They're so good. I need to buy hard copies. I just have digital, and I like to try to own ones that I love like that in hard copy. Number 10, book that made you cry. I don't really cry when reading. I do if there's an animal and it dies, I will probably cry. But I don't really cry while reading. The only one that I've ever in the history of reading like really cried at was it was a John Green book. The Fault in Our Stars? I think it was The Fault in Our Stars. I think, yeah, it was, because it's when he's having the freak out. I don't want to spoil it, though probably everybody at this point has either read it or seen the movie, but he's having the freak out in the car, and he's really sick, and he's falling apart, and he can't deal. Like, that really got to me, and I was just bawling while I was reading it. But that wasn't this year, and I don't think, I maybe got a little teary with Evelyn Hugo. I got tears of happiness with Red, White, and Royal Blue, but not really anything that just made me cry. I don't really cry while reading. Is there something wrong with me? Let me know. Do you guys cry while reading? Like, maybe I need to work on my, like, emotions while reading, but yeah, I don't really cry. Now watch the next book I finish, I'll totally just sob, and then I'll come back and tell you guys. Number 11, book that made you happy. Y'all know what it's going to be. It's going to be Red, White, and Royal Blue, because it did. It was so sweet. It was so sweet, and they love each other, and it's so good. But yeah, that's the book that made me happy. For the next few questions, I am going to try to not mention any of the 3 books that I've mentioned before, because this tag is kind of boring. Hopefully people still comment and talk to me about it. number 12, most beautiful book you've bought this year. Yes, I went and grabbed it from my shelf because I haven't read it yet. It's on my TBR shelf, and it is Paper Girls, Volume 2. I saw it. First of all, I bought Volume 1 because owning just the paperbacks is getting too much for me in comics. I love comics so much, but the bound editions, I think they've come out with beautiful ones, and they're really nice, and I think they look a little bit neater and nicer on your shelves. But one day I'll do a shelf film, and I'm trying to do that this week. I actually may be getting hooked up with a camera, which I'm super excited about, but cross your fingers for me, guys. Hopefully I can find it. But Paper Girls, Volume 1 is hot pink, neon, black, very 80s aesthetic, which if you know the comic, which if you don't know the comic, please go read it. It's time travel, Stranger Things, Back to the Future, awesomeness, and all girls, and it's crazy good. But Paper Girls Volume 2 I actually have. It is not the plastic wrapping on there. It is holographic. Has a giant robot, very Transformers Iron Giant. It's got that chrome where it changes colors. I'm trying to show you guys, but it's so pretty, and just the aesthetic on my shelf. Look at the hot pink title. Image, you are killing it with your bound editions, because I also have Rat Queens, and I am waiting for Saga. I cannot wait for them to start doing the bound editions of Saga, because I will be buying them all. Number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, according to my Goodreads, I'm 67 books behind. I do the book challenge, the reading challenge. Past couple years, I tried to hit 1,000, never did it. So this year, I lowered my standards. And I do count issues of comics in my book total, just because I think it's important to recognize that reading comics is a valid form of reading. So I'm still 67 books behind. I will catch up at some point this year. It's just a matter of I've got new hobbies, so reading time is a little bit different, and I've had some reading slumps a lot this year, which is super annoying. And so I've joined a Discord. I'm currently in the middle of a reading challenge. It's really awesome. If you guys can find a group like that, do it for yourself, just because it kind of motivates you. But my total for the reading challenge of the year is 800 this year. I think I can still achieve that. It really helps when I go places, like on vacation, like this weekend. My fiance is doing a conference, and I'm going along with him to kind of help out, but also just to be supportive, because I feel like that's what you should do. And I'll probably get a lot of reading done there. I'm going to try to bring 3 or 4 books. If I have a good solid 8 hours to do nothing but read, I can get through some books. So I have a ton of arcs. My goal by the end of the year, my resolution for the end of the year was, excluding any that I receive in December, was to read all of the arcs before they're actually published that I have left. And I think I have 12. I have some that have already been published. I've already missed that date, but I'm still going to try to get them read this year, because I think it's important for publishers to get what the feedback that they're looking for. I mean, they are taking the time to send us these, and I think it's important that we try to respect them in what they're trying to do. So that is my goal for this channel too, is to start doing reviews of arcs and getting them ready to go, so that when the publication date comes up, I can press send and upload to YouTube, and it will, help the publisher, which is kind of what I want to do, and I think it will help librarians know if they want to buy it, if anybody's watching. So I have a lot of arcs that are going to be read. Y'all are going to get some new stuff, and I'm excited. But that is my tag. It was kind of boring. I apologize. If you want me to go into a deeper rant about Anna and the French Kiss, I think numerous people have done that already. I feel sad that I now think it's garbage fire. That's actually a good thing to discuss. Let me know down below if you've ever reread a book and been totally disappointed in that it lost its magicness for you from the previous time you read it, and what you do to combat that. So that's it for today. Have a good rest of the week. I'll be back next week with another brand new video for you guys to watch. Hopefully it will not be a tag. Bye.